Alright, fuckers and fuckettes. See this right here? This is what you do not want to see when you pull a set of carbs. These slides are stuck. This dude's going to be out of diaphragm right here, because once I bust this slide loose, that diaphragm's going to be wrecked. And I'm probably going to have to dig that fucking slide out of there. I don't know. I'm going to try something gentle first, but that right there is what you do not want to see when you pull a set of carbs. I just pulled these off this Kawi Councours right here. Hey Marie, do me a favor. Run back, grab me 4 shop towels from underneath the parts washer. Now looking down his intakes and matching them up with the carbs there. That carb, it ain't showing much in the light, but that carb leaked down. I guarantee you that valve's going to be clog-eared and shit. I'm going to have to take a rope and run down in there and clean it out with a piece of rope. Anyway, let me get the bottoms off these and we'll see what they look like there too. This is another thing you don't want to see when you pull these carbs out. Now I can turn these carbs upside down, them needles aren't coming out. I had to finagle the floats off every one of them. And he said it'd been sitting about a year. Yeah, I can see that happening. I'm guessing closer to 4 or 5 years. But if it was truly a year, then his last tank must have been a gas with MTBE in it, and it had been mixed with ethanol gas, because that's the only time that I've seen this that bad that quickly. But literally, those needles, I'm going to have to dig them out with a pair of pliers. And they're all 4 stuck in there, and I'll bet you dollars to donuts 1 or 2 of them tips is going to stick in there, and I'm going to be digging a fucking tip out of these sons of bitches with a piece of plastic, because you can't use wire in there because you fuck it up. Anyway, the tops all look pretty good. The slides that I pulled out, 2 of them have to be replaced, there's no doubt about that. And yeah, no, I just dropped that damn needle. I don't care. I'm going to clean it too. I'm going to clean all this shit. That was one of the better ones. And based on what I'm seeing here, I'm going to flush this motor out with diesel for a couple hours before I change the oil. Man, look at this here. This shit is yellow. You know what that might be? That might be some of that stable shit that got mixed with cheap regular gas. And no, because Stable would have looked more like varnish. It wouldn't be all yellowy like this. It's got that same texture though. It's just this is the wrong color. God damn, that's nasty. Alright, anyway, holler at y'all fuckers and fuckettes later, because I got to get on cleaning all this shit. And I just figured I'd show you what you don't want to see when you pull a set of carbs. Hell, the carbs on my 900 were in a lot better shape than it's sat for 20 fucking years. Of course, somebody had the good sense to drain the bowls first. And I'm still trying to get all the grease out the cylinders, yes, because packing it in grease may not have been the best idea I've ever had in the world, but you know what? That bitch turns over. Okay, so what do you do with a set of them messed up carbs like that? Well, I had the guy get a 5-gallon bucket of Napa Carburetor cleanup. And that's some good shit right there. I'd really prefer if you got Berryman's. And that right there, my friends, is a regular damn pond pump. Keep that shit stirred up is my motto. In fact, I gotta stick my hand in there because that ain't moving good enough. There we go. Now that shit's rippling up on top. Now don't worry about aiming it into the carbs. There's enough circulation in there and that shit dissolves enough that it's going to get into them carbs. Trust me on this. Hell, I shock myself about every 3rd or 4th time I use one of these pumps. It'll eat right through the coating on the pumps. Make sure you've got all your rubber out of these fucking carburetors before you do this shit. Especially them little air cutoff valves. And these keyhens, they've got 2 of them on here. I already pulled all the rubber bits out of these, but that's something I gotta stress. Make sure you pull that shit out. Anyway, I'll let y'all fuckers and fuckettes later, because I'm going to let these soak, and I'm going to go look at how bad the rest of the bike is. I know as bad as them carbs were in that 1 cylinder he washed gas down into it. So I pump that out with diesel even though the motor ain't froze. I'll just do that to get all that varnish out.